live again today. Let me make some adjustments. I don't know about you. If you're a YouTuber and you go live, I have a couple of questions for you. I do like scheduling it, and I've been scheduling it, but then I can't see myself in the video very well. So that's why I have to adjust it. But then my little icon stays out there. So I don't know if I'm supposed to delete the notification icon or if I am just supposed to leave it there. But anyway, we're going live again today because the last couple of months, I've been on a pretty big journey. And yesterday I came out and I showed my video planner. I revealed the cover. This is something I've been working on for months and months. And I was so excited to come out and share it with you. And I've been sharing some of my journey of making this planner, and it has been so much fun. And it's been a learning journey. It's been kind of a discovery journey about me and kind of my strengths and resilience and determination in making this come to a reality. And I wanted to come out here because I have been showing some of the highlights. I've also been showing some of the lows, like some of my frustrations, some of my just hurdles and challenges, and a lot of the progress and a lot of the happiness and joy that this has brought me. And I wanted to talk about this a little bit, take a couple steps back and tell you about some of the fears and the doubts and the negativities that has come out and that has been kind of tagging along with some of this journey. And I feel like we have this when something's new and when something is really like we're passionate about it. Sometimes, yes, we just go in 100% and don't have this, but a lot of the times we do have that fear and that doubt that creep in. And I want to come out and just face that and talk to you about it and tell you some of the little tips that I used along the way to not forget about that fear or doubt, because I feel like if we try and make it go away, not that it won't go away or anything, but that will bring up another issue, right? We're like, oh, it's still there. It must be true. I'm not going to go forward. But more like dealing with it and living with it and still making progress and still moving forward, even though it's there. It's that buddy that we don't want, that weight that's like clinging to our ankle and we're still trying to like go up the hill. It's still there, but we still can get up that hill and we still can get to our goal. And we can still make progress for sure, even though we have this doubt. So number one is I recognized that this fear and this doubt and the negativity wasn't real, that I was able, like, they are convincing. And I do have my notes. So if I look down a little bit, forgive me, but I just want to make sure that I say everything that I want to. So this fear and the doubt is an uncomfortable feeling. Here we are on one side. We're super excited about something. We're going after it. We really feel like this thing is going to change our lives and we want to do it. We're motivated to do it. But then this thing over here is like, who are you to think that you can do this? You've never done this before. You need to just keep doing what you're doing because that's safe. And your body, your mind wants to keep you safe. So I think that the first thing is to recognize the doubt for what it is, because once we call it out, we can kind of keep going. We can get through it a lot easier. And knowing that that doubt and the fear is a lie and it's not true. So I realized that for a couple of months, at least a month, I think it was about 2 months, my anxiety was going up and up. And it wasn't necessarily from doubt. It was more like a fear that I wouldn't be able to whatever, XYZ. I wouldn't be able to take good enough pictures. My planner wouldn't get here in time. My Kickstarter was kind of kicking my butt, and I wouldn't be able to make a good enough Kickstarter campaign, and blah, blah, blah. It just kind of kept on and going on. And all of these things were stacking up. So my anxiety was just like something sitting on my chest. Like it was getting really heavy. I could feel it in my chest. I could feel it in my throat. That's where it was kind of residing. And then I realized it was last weekend or the weekend before. I told my husband, you know what? I have my anxiety is like really up right now. And I think that all I need to do are these two tasks, and then it'll like be so much better. It'll be so much better. So I kind of faced my fear that way and kept going. And that's what we're talking about today. Number one was recognizing that the fear and doubt weren't the truth. Like I really did have this passion. Number two was to decide to move forward anyway. So I kept thinking, what if nobody wants my planner? And what if nobody finds it useful and they don't like it? And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to acknowledge that, because doing that means that I'm stuck, and that if I gave in to that kind of worry, that meant I wouldn't come out with my planner, which means I was quitting. And I was like, I'm not going to quit. That is not an option at all here. Here I have my planner, and actually I have it by my side. I'm going to show it to you. Again, it was a reveal day yesterday. I'm just so excited to show it to you, but here is what I made. It does have a silver debossing, so it's all shimmery, which kind of makes it hard to take pictures. Let me see. I'm like, be photogenic a little bit here. But so I was thinking, well, the option is not to quit. Like I'm not gonna do that. I've been working on this for months and months. So that's not who I am. So number two was to move forward anyway, to do it anyway. I think these next two things kind of go hand in hand. So fear comes from a couple of places: doubt in ourselves, but also the unknown. And what was the other thing? I've got to think of the other thing that it was. So learning about, oh, that's right, something new and something unknown. So what I did with this while I was making this, I had this idea for this planner, and I wish I wasn't covering it all the time. So awkwardly sit over here. But I had this idea. I had no idea how to make it. And all I knew was that, gosh, I really like this idea. I don't think anybody else has a paper planner out there for video content creators to write down their ideas in it and organize it and everything. So I had this idea, had no idea how to come bring it about in life. And what I've done with this in the past is I've learned how to do it. I'm a women's fiction author. I had 5 books out there, and then I did a whole like rebranding, recovering, and came out with 3 books with the new covers. And then I had this idea for the planner. So my books are a little bit on hold while I come out with this book. But in order to do that author creative thing, I'd never done that before. I'm in kind of business in my world, and that's not super creative like writing. So I took a course for that, and it's a Sarah Cannon course, Heart Breathings, if you've heard of that. And from that, I learned how to publish. It was a very intensive course, actually. I think it was like $400, and I did it on the side. I loved it. Like this was the first thing that I did. Side note, after I had my kids, because I had my girls, and I did everything for them aside from work. Like I had to go to work, but my husband and I rearranged our schedules so he could work at night. He's not doing that anymore, but I did everything for my kids, and I gained confidence along the way. Rosani, you're exactly right. But I actually did that for myself, and I was writing at night. Like they'd be trying to go to sleep, and I'd be outside their room writing and listening to the heart breathings. Publish and Thrive. Actually, she's enrolling now. I am an affiliate, but that's not what this is about. But if you are an author or you want to learn how to publish from A to Z, actually, that's one of my books. That's so funny. But learn it from 1 to whatever, 200. Take a course and learn about the thing that's holding you up. Learn about how to do Shopify. Learn about how to do Etsy if that's your thing. Learn about how to publish a book. In my story with doing my planner, I needed to learn how to do a planner. And I had to decide, am I going, so many decisions along the way. So I took print school. I went to a course called Print School, not went to, it was digital. Polly Payne puts it on. It was absolutely amazing. I'm still learning because I'm still in the middle, like I'm still in the launch phase. So I had to make so many decisions along the way with this planner. I designed it myself. I had to decide if I was going to hire a designer, and I didn't want to do that. But learning about it, I had to learn more about Canva. I didn't know Canva very well. I knew it a little bit. I learned a ton about Canva with this. The more I did it, the more I learned about it, the more it became normal, the less that fear showed up in my life. And that's what this long interlude was that I got to, that I'm getting to this point, is that the more it becomes normal for you, the more that you learn, the more confident you become. And you sitting down at the computer was no longer scary for me. And so somebody's new here and wants to learn how to publish your book. There are so many resources out there for you along your journey, whether you're publishing a book, whether you're going back to school or you're parenting. As you know, you're here on YouTube. You know how many millions of videos there are. That's how I started with my books. And I talk about this a little bit, was the free resource of YouTube. There were so many people out there, authors out there teaching their craft and how to do it. Sarah Cannon has a great channel, Heart Breathings, and then Sarah Cannon, she has 2 channels. So you can go check her out. She just has a ton of videos out there for free. And that's how I started. You don't have to go to print school. You don't have to do a Publish and Thrive. That for me was my next step. But the more I learned how to do my planner, the more excited and exciting it was to work on it. I wasn't sitting down with fear. I wasn't sitting down with this doubt. Oh my gosh, how do I learn Canva? How do I do this? I was sitting down with kind of the truth of it, with the passion to create this. And I felt like that, I know we talk about purpose some on this channel and out there, but I feel like God himself whispered this idea to me. And I don't know if you're that way or if you're woo-woo at all. I believe in all of that. And because it came out of the blue, like I had no intention of creating this at the beginning of December. And at the end, I was looking into print school. And I felt like once I overcame that fear, the real truth and reason for me to go after this dream became real. So yeah, I know I'm not the only woo-woo person out there. And it's so funny. The more I do it, the more I'm finding people who are like this. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm weird. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Actually, there's so many people who believe in like an energy outside of us. And I'm going to come out with a couple videos and they are going to be out there, but it's something fun that I'm doing. I talk about my pillars of life and that I see it in a circular fashion. So, but I will come out with that. And last night I wanted to say, so I don't need to return to work until next Wednesday. I'm actually working remote and not right now. I'm off work right now, but I left my planner and my journal at work yesterday, and people are still in the office today and tomorrow and Monday and everything. And I'm like, if somebody gets a hold of that journal there in my planner, they're going to think I'm absolutely nuts because I write everything on my mind in there. I write tons of prayers in there. I write about my dream life. I write about things that haven't happened yet that I want to bring about in my life. And that will help me circle back to my main topic today, which is facing for fear and moving forward anyway. Because during this time, when the doubt would come up, because I've had stages along this journey of making this planner, and it's a video planner. It's not gonna like cure anything in the world. It's not gonna like bring about world peace. It will help video content creators, right? So that's my reasoning for making it. It'll help me with my channel and organizing it. But where was I going with that? Now I have to bring back my thought process. Do you guys do that? I'm going to take a drink of water and bring it back. But for me, like throughout this, it has been in different stages, and I've learned so much, like knowledge, but also internally about myself. So if you're embarking on a dream, I'm not done yet. I still have a few more tips to give, but if you're embarking on a dream, I just so encourage you to look inward, like, why are you doing this? And be open to learn about yourself, because I was not expecting that. I've had some challenges along the way. Step one was to like write out the ideas for this planner. Step two was create it, then to get a sample, then to create all the pictures, then like Kickstarter and Shopify and launch it. So I'm like right here at the end. I just got like approved for my Kickstarter page today. I'm so excited about that. But along this way, there's been challenges in on every step of the way. They weren't like, oh my gosh, climbing Everest or anything like that. It's more like mental challenges. Can I do this? Can I get over that thought and saying, oh, I'm terrible at creating websites, I can't do that, and do it anyway? Can I like look at Kickstarter and say, this is kind of scary, and do it anyway? And that's what I'm kind of trying to inspire you to do. If you're on this journey, you have a passion that you want to do, there are going to be challenges along the way. And what I want to say, that is how you learn, that is how you learn about yourself and what you're able to accomplish. And who knew like this little journal would be like, the process would really kind of make me thankful for some of those doubts, because if everything was smooth sailing and easy, you wouldn't learn, and you wouldn't learn that about yourself, that oh my gosh, that Kickstarter campaign was kind of hard. It was kind of hard to take pictures because I'm not good at taking pictures, and that was the story, that was the doubt, and I did it anyway. So I just am encouraging you to keep going, because you're going to be like, you know what? I actually could do that. And I actually did do that. So one of the things that I want to say is, along your journey, give yourself praise, give yourself grace to make those mistakes that you need to get to the next level. So I took my first round of photos, like they were all shadowy and everything just looked really weird. And I was like, okay, well, this isn't really working. So I tried it again. And then I watched a couple of videos on how to make pictures better. And you can put them in Canva, and you can, I like hearing that other people made other journals too. I think that's awesome. But you can put your pictures in Canva and lighten them up. I just had no idea how to do that. So I asked for my husband's help with to take pictures, because he has this camera, and they turned out really great. And that's one of my other points, is if you're having this doubt and this fear, ask for help. Ask for help from anybody, your friends or your family, your spouse, your kids. I asked my kids for some, I'm like, hey, go around the house and get some props for our photos, and let's do this. Let's have a great time. Also, you can ask for godly help, for spirit guides. I did this so much on my journey, and I visualized things outcoming Like today, I sat down at my computer and I was like, wouldn't it be cool if my Kickstarter campaign was already approved? It's supposed to be approved tomorrow. And I pictured it and I was like, oh, that would be so awesome. And I brought up the Kickstarter page and there it said, you're approved, congratulations. And I was like, that's awesome. Ask for help. Expect good things when you ask for that. And I think a couple more things. Use the fear kind of as fuel to keep you going. I've done this a little bit. I'm like, hey, who do you think you are telling me I can't do this? That sort of attitude. Like, I've done a lot of other things in my life too that weren't hard and weren't, easy. And just think of the things that you've done in your life that weren't easy. And yet at the end, you were so proud of yourself for doing it because you didn't give up. You didn't give in to that fear. You didn't give in to the doubt. And then how did you feel at the end? Like if you actually gave yourself praise at the end and said, wow, yes, I did that. Like, how did that feel to overcome that fear? So that's what I wanted to talk about today, because I know I was saying earlier, like everything wasn't easy along the way. And yet I'm almost to the end. The end is kind of the hardest right now because it's like, okay, now I'm leaving it up to some faith, some belief. And that fear right now and the doubt is definitely real for me. And yet I'm like, well, I'm not going to quit. I'm still going to put it out there for sale for people to see and to find. And the doubt wants to say, but what if nobody wants it? What if, I kind of have a small channel? What if not enough eyes are on it? What if people are like, yeah, but I like my digital planner. And what if it just doesn't get noticed, whatever? And I'm like, hey, when it's not going to get noticed is if it just stays here in my hand and on my chair and it doesn't get out there at all. So I was thinking, well, what am I going to do? Am I just not going to do my Kickstarter? No, that's not an option. So the option is to move forward. Like, that's it. End of story. Like, end of discussion, end of the worry. And that stops it every time. So I kind of, and the fear does kind of keep us from getting started. That is a great point. I love the quote that you can't edit a blank page. So if you're a writer out there and you don't get started, you can't edit what isn't out there. You can always edit what you've already written. Getting started just means bullet points. It means a couple of notes. It means just getting something tangible out there that you can see. And when you have a paragraph, when you have a page, that's progress. That's great. When you get to the end of the chapter, I'm just going along with the book analogy. That's progress. You didn't have that first word, and now you're at the end of the chapter. Like, that's amazing. And now you can say, I got started, and now look what I've done. I can continue on. So you kind of like step over that fear and do it anyway. And I like to come out here and talk about that a lot. I think that celebration of how far we've gone is just so like, I can't think of the word right now. Like, it's the culmination of our progress. So hopefully this inspired you a little bit. I like to come out here and show my journey a lot. I think that some of my YouTube hangups have been that, do you mind if I just get more comfortable here? Like, my back's like, stop leaning forward like that. Some of my YouTube hangups have been, oh, you can't post that video because that's not your topic. That's not your niche. And I'm like, you know what? I don't even have like a firm niche. I'm a busy working mom going for my dreams on the side, and I want to inspire other people. So that's my niche. It's not one word. It's more like this, right? And I'm like, okay, I can do that. We can make our own niche. But that's been my YouTube hang up, and I'm doing it anyway. Like, I'm about to kind of start a series about going to church again and picking a church, because my faith in this journey of making my planner has been the most surprising, I think, because I've had to lean on something outside of me to accomplish it, and to have that belief that, okay, I am doing this for a reason. And I think the faith has helped me, kept me going. So that's not really in my niche to go out there and show different churches and everything, but I'm probably going to do it anyway, because that circles around my whole journey. So that's a little bit more about where I'm at right now. I'm going to come out with some more videos about like Kickstarter and um, going along like some kind of the small business path, finding time to do that along the side of everything else that I'm doing, and to be patient with ourselves, and um, enjoy the journey also, because I think at some of these times that I was in, that I had some of that anxiety, like some of that joy wasn't there, and I'm like, no, wait a minute, reminding myself this is supposed to be fun, and it was really fun in the beginning, it can be fun again, and it snapped me out of that. So hopefully this is helpful. I do really like coming out here live. I know that a lot of this is going to be watched on the replay, but coming out here live, I know isn't edited, and it doesn't have all the fun edits in it, but this is how I get some of my videos out there, because sometimes I'm like, okay, now I have an hour or two of editing, and then I don't do it. So, and I let that doubt kind of creep in. I'm like, that's not your niche. But this topic has been on my mind because it's kind of been in my life a little bit. But I think as long as we, like I say, keep taking the next steps, keep moving forward, you're not kind of letting fear win. You're not letting that doubt take over. So I believe in you. I hope that this inspired you to keep going. Let me know in the comments what you're working on and how we can kind of cheer each other on, because I think that all of us have some dreams on the side that we want to bring out in our lives, bring into our lives, and it's up to us to do it. Nobody else is going to make a planner for you. They're not going to write a book for you. Asking ChatGPT is not giving you the journey to write your book, because it's a really fun journey to do something like that. You need to experience that. So that's what I'm here to say today, and I hope you go about the rest of your day and have a good one, and I will see you the next time I'm on here. Bye. See if I can